Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from, and welcome back to another cryptocurrency video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be doing a technical analysis on Bitcoin, explaining whether I believe it's bearish or whether I believe it is bullish. So we have a lot to talk about since our last video, and a lot has happened. So today I'm going to be catching you guys up. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this, because as I said, there's a lot to cover since our last video. Now, the first thing I want to touch on is our overbearing supports and resistances. First things first, you do have some support up here. We haven't seen this one get respected in a little while, but it definitely played a pretty big part over here in this swing high, as we see a lot of rejection candles, seeing that, this was a significant resistance, almost getting touched over here and now getting used a whole lot more as we are approaching our current situation, and it's getting fairly respected over here as well. Now, in addition to this, we also have our, our closer resistance of a short term, showing that the past three swing highs, 1, 2, 3 now over here, with the exception of the Tether FUD, and this was a, an artificial candle essentially, so we're not going to count that one. But from the past three legitimate swing highs of price action, you still have that overbearing as well. Now, something to highlight, before we even go into our regressional trend line over here, is that you do have support down here around the $6,100, $6,110 range on Coinbase, because as we see now, 1, 2, 3 separate swing lows have all been respected and held this level, enabled price to go back up from this line. Now, the good news and the bad news is here is, one, that it is a support line, but two, this is starting to look like a descending triangle. If you look at this, or if you even use the past swing highs, it's starting to look like a descending triangle. However, it is support nonetheless, so we will see if it breaks out here. But one more thing to note, guys, before we go into anything bullish, is that this is looking a little bit bearish just because of the times it has been getting rejected from the 200 EMA. You've now gotten rejected 1, 2, 3, now almost 4 times, and you're really failing to make higher highs at this point, as this is all just slanting down and coming to an end. But if we are going to look at this from a bullish perspective, what you want to see over here is exactly this support line that we've had for almost 12 months now on Bitcoin. Actually just over 12 months now, because what you have is you have this support line from October 17th or October 18th of last year, going all the way over here. Now what you have is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 touch points notifying us that this is a dedicated and respected support line to buy Bitcoin on, because it has been respected thus far. It hasn't been broken at all, and in fact it's been respected. So we are looking at this from a pretty bullish standpoint, saying, hey, this is a solid support. It hasn't broken yet. It hasn't failed us yet, so we don't have any kind of a reason to believe that it will. And if we continue to make higher highs over here, this is what we want to do, to have a market reversal essentially. So one, yes, you do have a support line down here. You break this, you have another one over here, but there are other support lines below this so that we can draw. Of course we have the one around $5,300, but that's all assuming that we're going to have worst case scenario and break our supports up here. Now, if we're looking at the MACD on Bitcoin, what you're seeing is that you are having triple bullish divergence on your MACD as well, because each swing low has had lower levels of negative momentum, showing us that there is, essentially bearish exhaustion in the short term of Bitcoin. Because keep in mind, this is the 4-hour, this isn't some daily or anything like that large, but you are showing that you are having a little bit of bearish exhaustion, showing that the bears are getting a little bit tired here, and you could see a little bit of a bullish move coming in. Now the RSI is sitting pretty neutral. I would say it's probably a 60-40 at this moment. It is looking more bullish than it is bearish. However, it's still sitting in the pretty neutral zone of around 48, 49 on the RSI list. So take that with what you will, but that's just the RSI. Now, I will say, if we're going to zoom out, and look at this from a bigger perspective, what we're starting to see, and this is why we have our regressional trend line over here, you are seeing just sideways price action in Bitcoin, because what you're doing is you're having higher lows, but you're also having lower highs. Now, when this happens, what this does is it creates a squeeze of sorts, and you have this no trade zone of Bitcoin where it just goes sideways for long periods of time, which is also kind of signs of a market reversal, but it's also signs of bearish things happening within the market, because what it does is it shows that if price can't move up, then it must fall down to a price where people are willing to buy it, instead of it essentially creating buyers along the way up, which is what the support line seems to be doing. So if it can hold this, it's looking bullish. If not, it definitely is looking a little bit more bearish. But that being said, guys, there's not really too much more to talk about in this video. Again, Bitcoin's very neutral right now. I've talked about in my Patreon about how this is a no trade zone. This is not somewhere where I'm risking my portfolio, because just as easily as that we could have a $3,000 jump up here. I was actually talking to someone, a client about this earlier, is you could have a $3,000 move up, but you could just as easily have a $3,000 move down and have this go to $3,000 instead of up to like $8,000 or $9,000. So again, this is a no trade zone. It's super risky to trade in here. There's not a lot of money to be made. There's a low volume, very low price action, and there's even been manipulation, as we've seen in the whole tether FUD and essentially just exchange manipulation, creating artificial pumps and dumps. So again, for me, this is a no trade zone. Nothing I said is financial or trading or tax advice in any way. Simply just my opinion. But keep in mind, guys, I am not trading here. If you guys are part of the Patreon, you guys know that I've been talking about this for risk management, and that this is just essentially not a very safe place to be as a trader right now. I know a lot of people are trading over in Forex and stocks, and they're looking to alternatives to make money. But until this is really defined, until cryptocurrency knows what they want to do and Bitcoin knows where it wants to go, people are kind of just avoiding it because it's such an easy way to get liquidated, or it's such an easy way to essentially lose money, especially when it's getting squeezed like it is right now. I don't know if you guys, I don't have the Bollinger Bands picked up here, but if you guys have looked at the Bollinger Bands, I mean, those things are tight. I mean, that's probably the tightest I've ever seen the Bollinger Bands. Like, you guys might think that the 50-day and the and the 200 EMA are pretty tight, but I can guarantee you that the Bollinger Bands have been tighter. So just a whole nother indicator in itself. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video.